What's up, YouTube? George's Silver Hunter back with a first. Today we are hunting a full box of circulated dimes. Now, if you've followed my channel for some time, I do a ton of half-dollar hunts, a fair amount of quarter hunts. I do customer wrapped hunts. I do a lot of different things, but one thing I haven't been able to do is a full dime box. The last time I tried was, I don't know, about a year ago, and I got a full box of 2020 Philadelphia dimes, and at the time they were going for $7 to $10 a roll on eBay in the original bank wrapped roll. So I offloaded the entire box on eBay and made a nice little profit on the box of dimes. So I got this today at my local Wells Fargo. I've already popped the top to ensure that we have circulated dimes. And when I did open it, I actually pulled all the dimes out, and I'll explain why in a second. I had an extra dime sitting in the bottom of the box. So we are, before the hunt, potentially already up one whole dime, unless this fell out of one of the rolls. And it looks like it is a 2018 Philadelphia. So before we get into these, I did want to spend a couple of minutes talking about something I do with half dollars, and I've already gone through the exercise myself, just to familiarize myself with the weight of a roll of dimes, and a way you can actually tell if you might have something interesting in a roll without even opening it. Now, this isn't intended to take away the fun from the coin roll hunting. But what it is meant to do is to show you that just through the weighing them, you might have a better idea what might be in the roll. Again, that has no guarantee. For example, a roll of half dollars weighs about 225 to 225 and a half grams. Now, I have found silver in a roll that weighed like 224.1, and that was because there was silver in the roll and a hollow magic coin, so the roll weighed very, very little. So weighing the rolls has no guarantee on what you're going to find inside, and that's why we open every roll and typically look at every single coin. Now, what I wanted to spend just a minute talking about was the weight of a roll of dimes. So I went through and I weighed every roll, so I already know we've got a couple of kind of heavy ones, so they should be interesting. But most of these rolls, when you weigh them in grams, hopefully that's showing up on camera. Let me back that up a little bit. It might help. They weigh about 114 to 114.1 grams, and that makes sense because a clad dime weighs 2.268 grams. When you multiply that by 50, it comes up to 113.4 grams. And of course, we have all this paper wrapped around it, which I've estimated it weighing about 0.6 grams. Now, not all wraps are created equal. Some might have a little more paper. Some might have a little less. So, 139.8, 113.8 or 9, 114.0, 0.1. That's going to be about normal. And I think one of these you saw was even low, right? That was 114.0. Let's see. That's 113.8. These are probably just two rolls of clad dimes. But the difference between a 90% silver dime and a clad dime is very, very small. It's 0.232 grams. So if we take that average of, call it 140 to 140.1 grams, once we get over kind of 114.3, there might be something interesting in there. Again, no guarantee. Just something to think about. If you get a roll of dimes and you weigh them and all of a sudden you have a roll that weighs 115 or 116 or 117 or 118, you've either got a lot of extra dimes in there or you've got some silver in there or possibly even some pennies stuffed into that dime roll. And I've seen that before just in customer wrapped rolls. So outside of that, before we break into these, I did want to, and I'll throw it up on the screen, there's not a lot to look for in dimes, so we're going to mainly edge hunt. I will go through some rolls. There is a 1967 Philadelphia DDO. There's a 1968 Philadelphia DDR. There's a 1970, both Philadelphia and Denver, I think, that has a proof reverse. There's a 1982 Philadelphia that should have a P mint mark, but it has no mint mark. And there is a double ear 2004. Again, anything 1964 and earlier will be 90% silver. And I don't remember the cutoff, but Mercury dimes do start at a certain point, and obviously we'd be really excited to find a Mercury dime. Outside of that, there was a 1996 West Point mint, and there were only 1.457 million minted. So if we can find one of those, that would be great. And if I do look through each individual coin, it will mainly be hunting for that W, but if some of those other years jump out that I mentioned, I'll put those under the scope. And a quick plug for this digital pluggable scope that you can get on Amazon. I have a link in the description down below. To do pennies and dimes, you need something like this. Otherwise, you will go blind. I'm old enough now that a lot of coins end up going under the scope, and it is a really nice scope. Works with Mac and Windows. I use it for live streams. I use it for all of my videos. So anyway, with that said, I know I've yammered on a lot. We're going to jump into these, and I'll bring you in on our first find, hopefully if we have any. This is one of the heavy rolls. At the beginning of the video, I talked about, once we get over about 114.3, they could be interesting. Now, this is high enough over. This could just be an extra dime, or it could be some silver in there. So I thought we would open this one together just in case. There's some silver in here. So let's see. So far, there hasn't been anything even remotely silvery. Please be silver. And not just an extra dime. I think we're looking at an extra dime. And I do make a complete mess getting these out of the paper, just so you guys know. Still figuring out how to do that. All right, well, I'm going to count these up. I got a feeling that we are just looking at an extra dime. So there you have it. We had an extra dime in our roll. No silver. Oh well. So I am down to my last 10 rolls, and I'll be honest, it has been a slow grind with the dimes. Very, very small, very hard to see dates. I made it through about 30 rolls, looking at every coin to every almost coin, and I'm kind of tired, so I've just been edge hunting these last probably 7-8 rolls. I'm going to just edge hunt these last 10. I've already weighed them, so I'm not real positive on there being silver in these last 10. I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera so you can see me open them just in case. But looks like we may just have the 2 extra dimes as the big finds for this box. So this would be roll 41. I can see why a lot of people don't hunt dimes, or when they do, they only edge hunt. Even looking at my document, and I kind of said this in the beginning of the video, there's just not that much to look for, and it's really hard to look for those things. Even trying to, ferret out proofs is pretty hard because there's so many new 2020 and 20, and I'm not even looking at a lot of this really shiny stuff anymore because it's all just really nice 2020 and 2021s. So those were both 2020 and 2021s. I have been kind of scooping them out, just kind of laying them out, making sure nothing jumps out at me in this light. But yeah, it's been a tough go. I am going to have to rewrap these and take them back to the bank because I'm not going to get over to my Fifth Third that has the coin machine until later in the week, and I want to be able to try to get this money back so I can get some other boxes. Yeah, I don't see any silver in there. He's a little crusty looking, but that is definitely not silver. So I did a kind of a jokey thing about getting all these wraps from my Fifth Third a week or two ago, and I'm going to do a separate video on wrapping coins, and I've been looking at some of the various machines on the market that'll help you count and wrap your coins more quickly. And I'll do a video on whatever I land on there, and I've actually done some 3D printed stuff that I've shown off in the past and some new things around wrapping coins that might be interesting for you guys. So I'll include that in a future video. And hopefully you guys see that and enjoy it. All right, so nothing in there. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. All right, last roll. Sorry we didn't find anything today. Like I said, this is the one extra dime we had laying in the box, and then I had one roll with an extra dime. But that was kind of all the excitement that this box brought us today. It's actually going to be almost as hard to package them back up as it was to open them and go through them. So you can just see these things are beautiful. That was actually a 2013. All right, well, with that said, that is a $250 box of dimes. I apologize if this was a little bit of a slow video. There just wasn't anything to find, but I'll try to get more dime boxes this year from time to time. That was my first time going through one. I learned a lot about just trying to get the paper open, how to look at them, the handful of varieties that at least have some value or things that are common there in the document that I have in the description down below. If you've ever thought about hunting some dimes, you know, and this video either persuaded you to do it or persuaded you not to do it, let me know in the comments down below. Like I said, I honestly, I think doing a box of pennies is easier than doing dimes. They're a little bit bigger. I think there's a lot more errors and varieties to hunt for. And then at least you know if you're somebody who's going to cull all the copper out, there's something that you're going to keep from the hunt. This was pretty much $250 worth opening and then $250 worth going back. Many of you may say opening $50 can be the same way, and that's also true, but I just feel like your likelihood of finding silver and $50 is much higher. So with that said, sorry it wasn't more interesting. It's the best I could do. It's what the box produced. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think of this video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, understand we mainly do silver stacking, coin roll hunting, all kinds of good stuff around numismatics. So consider leaving me a subscribe down below the video. Leave me a like and click that little bell so you get notified each and every time I release a new video. I hope to see you guys in a future video. Take care, and I'll see you next time.